as I pull out the stop, you get a sound. Get it more and more, right? Hi, my name is Allison Morris. I am the chief tour guide and creator of Way Back When Black River Heritage Tour. And we are here today at St. John's Church, which is the parish church of St. Elizabeth. It's my church. I play the organ here, but I am also actually very interested in the history of Black River, as you can guess by the fact that I have a heritage tour. So St. John's has been here for, we think, from maybe as early as 1700, but not this particular building. The church that was here was destroyed and rebuilt a number of times, a number of churches. So the building that is still here was substantially finished in 1838, and a stone in the tower tells us that the first stone was laid in July of 1837. So if we look up at the tower, we will see that just above and just below that tablet telling us all about the origins of the church, we lost some windows during burial. The church took a major hit, particularly from the north, although this side is the western side. And as we go around the church, you'll realize that we are doing a lot of work to maintain this national monument, because the church is a national monument. We are inside St. John's now. We are upstairs in the gallery. That's what you call the upstairs. And we are standing right beside our pipe organ. We are very proud of this organ. It's one of, I don't know how many, but few in Jamaica that are still working, and we use it basically every Sunday. We are not operating with all the pipes. I think maybe about 2/3 of them are in operation now. We have repairs that are ongoing. So we have somebody a German organ builder who lives in the state, who comes from time to time. But although we only have 2/3, guess what? We still like what we hear. So I am going to play something for you now. This organ
So cool.
has been here from 1915. So it's been here, if we do the addition, that's what, 109 years? Yeah? It's been here for 109 years. And at the time when it was installed, there was no electricity in the church, and the church would have to employ somebody from the congregation called an organ blower for services and choir practice. And what they would do, the crank is still around the back of the organ, where you would manually have this crank and lift it up and down to pump the air through the bellows that would come through the pipes to make the sound. So the organ, although it works by electricity and the air is fed by a compressor now, when it was first installed, there had to be an organ blower. So let's see. So you're going to hear, because you're so close to me, you're going to actually hear the mechanics of the organ as I play. Right? So you're going to hear all that clacking, which you wouldn't hear so loud if you are, hopefully, I hope you don't hear it at all if you're downstairs singing in the congregation. So I'm going to play. So we switch on here. And if you look at this weight, when the air starts to go, air starts to build up, you will see the indicator. There's it going down. And we're ready for action, right? So these are the stops, right? The stops that give you different sounds. So I'm pulling them in, right? Normally I leave them in, but I was rushing this morning when I played. So this is the great organ, this is the swell organ. So I'm putting down a chord. I don't have any stops out. So I have the C chord for those who know music. And as I pull out the stop, you get a sound. Get it more and more, right? And then pull more here, and I start to get sounds up here. So that's the fullest sound that we get right now with the stops and the pipes that are working, because as I said, we're not using all of them. So we play all kinds of things. We play traditional English and European hymns. We are an Anglican church, but we play a lot of Caribbean music. We play reggae music. We play calypso music. We play folk tunes, right? So our service, it tends to be a mix. So I play with hands, and there's also a keyboard down here, pedals. I play with my feet. No, traditionally, real organists, I think, keep on them shoes and they play with 2 feet, but I am really a pianist who has just brought my skills to the organ. So I am not any big organist, but I manage, I think. So I'm going to play Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, which is originally the tune written by Beethoven, but most people know the tune. All right, ready? Yeah. And so that would be an example of something European that we play. But let's try something else. Let's try something more Caribbean. By the Rivers of Babylon. Okay? Yeah, so very versatile. Sometimes we have congo drums going along with it, tambourines, and so it becomes a very full experience that, well, I enjoy playing and I hope people enjoy singing along as well. So I'm going to push the stops back in now, and you can hear the sun was blowing through, and I switch off, and you'll see the weight going back up. And that's your organ lesson for today. We are here at Waterloo Guest House, which a lot of people know about this house. It was the first private home in Jamaica to get electricity. It's not used as a private home anymore, but at that time, which was early 1890s, this had the distinction of having a very wealthy family living here who could afford to generate electricity for their home and then extend it to the streets of Black River. Waterloo is situated right across the road from the wreck of the boat Mulde. Well, I'm not sure the pronunciation. It's spelled Mulde. I don't know if that was German. I don't know if that was Spanish. So if it's German, I guess it would be Muld. If it's Spanish, Mulde. And so we are right across the road from that. So that boat has not been a part of very long Black River history. So it's not a pirate ship or anything like that. I think from my memory that the boat probably was docked in the bay and abandoned from maybe early 2000s or late 1990s. And originally it was further out at sea, anchored there. And the story was that the owner had been jailed somewhere abroad and the boat was just abandoned. And some heavy weather, I think it was a tropical depression, lifted the anchor and the boat came in very, very close to the seawall and lodged itself there and just stayed there, getting heavier and heavier and filled with sand until it just became part of the whole scene of the Black River shoreline. So many children like mine, my son was born in 1999 and my daughter a few years earlier, they could not remember a time when there was not the boat in the water. So that's why I'm thinking it was probably there from the early 2000s or late 1990s. And so in 2009, I think it was probably November, that they started scrapping the boat because, well, it was scrap metal. And so they took off the top, they took off bit by bit, we saw the boat disappearing. but the boat proved to be stronger than all the heavy equipment that they tested it with. And so it was two sets of scrapping that they tried, but they couldn't get further than what we see today. So you can still see the remains of the boat that's lodged in the stand. And the story is that when the owner came out of jail, because he was supposed to be in jail for drugs or something like that. That the story is that he came one night after many people had searched and not been able to find anything, that he just came straight and went to where his stash of money or whatever was and took it and went. So that's the legend. I have a feeling that it doesn't go quite like that, but you have a shipwreck, you have to have a legend. Black River Bridge that we know today was actually constructed, well, the construction was completed in 1940. Before that, there was a very narrow bridge that could only hold one vehicle at a time. I think it was 9 or 10 feet wide, and it had a wooden floor and had been there from horse and buggy days from somewhere in the mid 1800s. One of the interesting things about the bridge today is the whole controversy that surrounded its construction. The member of parliament at the time was E.V. Allen, a very outspoken member for St. Elizabeth, and he saw the need for a bridge that could take two-way traffic in Black River. Well, his opposition thought he just wanted to build a monument to himself. And you know how these things go. Just like today, the opposing sides are finding every reason why they should block somebody from the other side. And so £8,000 was apparently allocated for the Black River Bridge. And somewhere in all the controversy, the government seemed to have decided that, no, you only need to fix up the little old bridge that's there, spend £2,000 or £3,000, and we'll take the 5,000 and put in another parish to do their bridge. Well, E.V. Allen was having none of it and created a big stink. And it ended up that we did get our bridge, which is still so narrow for vehicular traffic now, although two cars can barely pass, big trucks don't pass well. But if it hadn't been for EV, that bridge would probably have been maybe another 20, 30, 40, how many years in coming. So we need to be thankful for the people who are sometimes willing to raise a big stink. Here at St. John's at the moment, we are really working hard on getting windows replaced, getting boards replaced that had water damage, and it's really a lot for a small congregation. And we are such a beautiful old church, and we mean so much to so many people, not only from Black River, but from St. Elizabeth and from Jamaica, who have seen this building standing here over the years. And so really, if there's anyone who would like to contribute to the cause of getting the church restored, we would be more than happy to accept any donations and assistance you're able to give.